떨어진 데다 강한 바람이 더 심한 추위를 몰고 왔습니다. 서울 아침 기온은 영하 11도, 하지만 체감온도는 영하 19도를 기록했습니다. 대관령도 체감온도가 영하 29.1도까지 내려갔고 설악산은 무려 영하 43.1도를 기록했습니다. 북극 한기가 밀려오며 시작된 이번 한파는 쉽게 풀리지 않겠습니다.
우리나라 북쪽에 찬 공기가 남하하며 중부지방을 중심으로 한파특보가 발표되었습니다. 이번 추위는 다음 주 초반까지 이어질 것으로 보입니다.
서울 기준 영하 10도 안팎의 강추위가 기승을 부리겠고 특히 이번 일요일에는 서울 기온이 영하 12도까지 곤두박질하며 한파가 절정을 이룰 전망입니다. 한파 속에 서해안에 이어 내일 낮부터는 서울 등 중부지방에도 다시 눈이 내릴 것으로 보입니다. 최고 10cm의 많은 눈이 쏟아지며 대설주의보가 내려질 것으로 보입니다.
중부지방을 중심으로 많은 눈이 내릴 것으로 예상이 되는데요. 특히 서울을 포함한 수도권과 강원 내륙, 충청 내륙을 중심으로 대설특보가 발표될 가능성도 있으니
따라서 도로 결빙으로 인한 정체와 미끄럼 사고가 우려돼 각별한 주의가 필요합니다. YTN 정혜윤입니다.
요즘 이런 푸드트럭, 또 화물트럭, 1톤 트럭, 서민들 발이라는 경유차 차주들은 고민이 이만저만 아닙니다. 경유가 휘발유보다 비싸진 게 반년 넘도록 해결 기미조차 보이지 않고 있습니다. 기름값 역전을 둘러싼 해석과 전망 들어보려 합니다. 이호근 대덕대 미래자동차학과 교수 나오셨습니다. 네, 교수님 어서 오십시오.
네, 안녕하세요.
네, 오늘은 뭐 기름값 올랐다 내렸다가 아니라 참 묘하다. 이 서민 연료인 경유가 휘발유보다 비싸졌는데 얼마나 더 비싸져 있습니까?
일단은 뭐 전체적인 통계로 200원 이상 비싸고요. 최근 어제 가격입니다. 휘발유가 1,574원이고 경유가 1,845원으로
네.
한 270원가량 차이가 나거든요. 근데 지역별로 뭐 휘발유의 최저 가격이 1,390원대도 있기 때문에 300원 가까이 차이가 난다 이렇게 볼 수 있어요.
보통은 휘발유보다 좀 싼 맛에
네.
경유차 모는 분들이 많잖아요. 이런 가격 역전 현상이 언제부터 나타났습니까?
일단은 올해 보면은 우크라이나 러시아 전쟁 때문에 경유나 휘발유나 모든 가격이 올랐습니다. 그다음에 특히 이제 뭐 천연가스
네.
이런 부분에 대한 러시아로부터의 공급이 중단되다 보니까 경유
예.
수요가 늘어났거든요.
그래프
그래서
보면
예.
역전이 한 7월 정도인 것
7월
같아요.
정도입니다. 그래서
예.
전체적으로 쭉 계속 동반 상승을 했는데 정부가 이게 너무 경제적으로 부담이 되고 경제에 미치는 영향이 크다 보니까 7월에 세금을 일괄적으로 할인해 준 겁니다. 37%를.
유류세 인하.
예, 유류세 인하.
네.
그런데 문제는 휘발유에는 약 810원, 20원가량의 세금이 붙어 있었고
예.
경유에는 580원가량이 붙어 있었어요.
휘발유를 약간 택시품이라고
그렇지요.
더
예,
높게
예. 소비 제품이다 해서 좀 많이 세금을 매겨놨는데
아.
이거를 동일한 비율로 37% 인하하다 보니까
예.
기름값이 너무 비싸졌긴 비싸졌어요, 여러분들. 그렇죠?
Japan's Tokyo Big Sight hosted the International Robot Expo, or IREX 2022 in short. There were not only many industrial robots, but also a number of interesting novelties in humanoid and bio-inspired robotics. See the fullest report about the show in one video. Japan is the #1 industrial robot manufacturer in the world, supplying 45% of all robots. The export share of the Japanese companies increased by 78% in 2020, when 136,069 industrial robots were shipped. But industrial manipulators are a separate topic. Here, we will look at the most interesting and unusual robots from the exhibition. Let's go. One of the most interesting and unusual novelties at IREX 2022 was the Capricorn robot from Kawasaki Robotics. It has wheels, legs, a saddle, horns, and a steering wheel. Meet Bex. The robot is a descendant of Kawasaki's Kaleido humanoid platform. At least the legs Bex borrowed from it for sure. The robot can walk across rough terrain on 4 legs, and if there's a smooth road, transform into a wheeled platform. To do this, the robot literally gets on its knees and extends another pair of wheels with a motor from its belly. The robot can carry goods weighing up to 100 kilograms, but it is also designed to carry people, who can control the car with a steering wheel, just like you control a bicycle or a rider controls his horse. The developers believe that the robot can be used in construction and industrial plants to move goods and inspections, and it can also transport crops harvested by farmers in the fields. The robot can stream video from its cameras in its head. Movement is provided in 2 modes: direct control by a human sitting on top, and remote control by remote control. At the same time, the robot also relies on data from sensors, such as the gyroscope, mounted on the robot to generate stepping movements. In addition, the robot monitors the position of the entire body and will not fall if suddenly struck to the side, for example, or if its foot hits an unstable surface. Kawasaki also brought the Kaleido robot itself, as well as its friend, which is called Friends. In the future, according to the company's vision, these robots will support people in hazardous jobs, as well as care for the sick and elderly. Kaleido is the strongest and most agile of the robots. It can, or will in the future, get to the scene of an accident, clear the debris, and retrieve people from under it, which can be recognized even in a pile of gravel. The robot is 179 centimeters tall and weighs 83 kilograms, which should give it a range of motion like an adult male, but limits its actions in small and narrow spaces. Although Kaleido was suspended at the exhibition, the developers assure that the robot is exceptionally strong and not afraid of falls. The robot walks and moves like a human. For example, it is stable not only on half-bent legs, but also on straight legs. The maximum walking speed is 4 kilometers an hour. The robot is stronger than a human and can lift up to 60 kilograms. Also, Kaleido is able to predict unstable positions for itself and adapt to them to maintain stability in real time. The Friends robot is 160 centimeters tall and weighs 54 kilograms. It can lift up to 10 kilograms and walks at 3 kilometers an hour, running on batteries. The robot is designed for entertainment, care, and support of people in hospitals and nursing homes. The developers have not indicated whether the robot can communicate with humans in a natural language now, but in the future, Friends will definitely have this function. We've said many times before in our reviews that Japanese people treat robots as friends and helpers in everyday life. Perhaps in the future, Friends will be available for home use as well. Kawasaki Heavy Industries also introduced its autonomous service robot, Nioki, which is capable of moving and working in an unstructured human environment. It is safe for humans, can open regular doors, and easily handle boxes in a warehouse or trays in a restaurant. The robot is equipped with a LiDAR and vision sensor to create a map of the environment, understand its place in it, and notice everything going on around it. Nioki can also be switched to remote control if the robot gets confused or an error occurs. It is possible to teach the robot new skills by remote control. It simply remembers the movements the operator gave it. To move, the robot uses a system of AMR, Autonomous Mobile Robot, which allows Nioki to determine the route to a given target. Metacoroid, founded as a joint venture between Kawasaki Heavy Industries and medical electronics manufacturer Sysmex, brought its Hinatori surgical robot to the exhibition. The robot received regulatory approval last August and is positioned as Japan's first robotic surgical system. It has no narrow specialization and can perform a wide range of operations, thanks to its precision and large number of degrees of freedom. Human Machinery Company gave a demonstration at the show of its very impressive general-purpose robot working in conjunction with an aerial work platform. The humanoid robot is remotely controlled and provides the operator with feedback for grip strength control. The machine is equipped with powerful electric actuators that provide it with strength coupled with high-precision movements. The robot is designed to maintain railroads and other transportation systems and works exclusively in tandem with the operator. According to the developers, it allows not only to save jobs for people, but also to increase their wages by improving their skills, as well as to protect workers during operation with heavy elements, at height and not only. It is worth noting that the idea is not new. We have already seen something similar, though on a smaller scale, from Sarcos Robotics, which is developing the Guardian XT robot based on its own Guardian Exo exoskeleton. A wide range of service robots at the exhibition was presented at the stand of Keenan Robotics, which supplies its solutions to more than 30 countries. The robots are designed for the hotel and restaurant business. The autonomous robots are equipped with a positioning system with an accuracy level of 1 centimeter, which allows them to move in narrow spaces. They can communicate with users via menus and exchange data with each other. The navigation system allows the robots to quickly adapt in a new environment, and the auto charge feature makes it easier to use the robots. Interestingly, SoftBank Robotics Group Corporation is actively involved in the company's development. A moment of madness at the show was the robot musician Otomeroid, developed in collaboration with Maiwa Denki, who is playing very unusual for the European ear music on an even more unusual instrument. At the booth of the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, Agrist's autonomous harvesting robot was presented at the exhibition. The simple and cheap robot was designed so that the farmers suffering from a shortage of workers could afford it. The most economical way to move the robot was to use stretched wires. The robot uses computer vision to find and pick ripe fruit. At IREX 2022, Tokyo Robotics unveiled a prototype of a mobile gripper capable of picking up and moving cardboard boxes of various sizes without damaging them. The robot is designed for short-distance delivery, palletizing and depalletizing in a small and medium-sized logistics facility, factories, and markets. The robot's left and right grippers rotate up and down independently of each other and have a side slip function for neat palletizing jobs. Stable operation is possible because the position and shape of the cardboard boxes can be detected by computer vision. Each gripper supports 4 degrees of freedom and can lift objects 160 centimeters off the floor. The robot moves by means of line or marking on the floor. Future plans include support for a rail-free navigation using SLAM technology. Kawada Robotics brought at the exhibition its humanoid robot HRP4. Very light and compact, only 39 kilograms at a height of 151 centimeters. The robot was a sensation in 2010 and has since been used by the company mainly for advertising. The main announcement of the exhibition was the humanoid collaborative robot Next Stage Philly. This is a continuation of the Next Stage line, which has long been actively implemented in industrial enterprises in Japan. The robot, according to the company, embodies practicality and Kawanda's 3 concepts of development: compact size, matching price to performance, and design with high proximity to human. Philly is designed not only for enterprises, but also for other applications, such as the hospitality industry and the like. However, so far the robot's abilities at the reception desk are not impressive, even though it looks quite dexterous in production. However, so far the robot's abilities at the reception desk are not impressive, even though it looks quite dexterous in production. Philly's price on the Japanese market will be just over $50,000. Honda Motor showcased an autonomous delivery robot co-developed by Rakuten. Its mobile platform for construction sites, which was shown only on the video booth, as well as the Uni-One electric wheelchair and an avatar robot of its own design. The last one, by the way, does not look particularly technologically advanced compared to everything that is on the market today. Apparently, the company just wanted to show that it has such developments. Also, at the IREX 2022, there were Kotiki robots, which move in sync with each other. Apparently, they are designed for remote communication. An interesting novelty was a scooter for moving around theme parks with elements of augmented reality. No robot exhibition nowadays is without automated cooks, which are most often implemented on the basis of industrial manipulators. The complex based on artificial intelligence, Exoweed, presented at IREX, was implemented on the basis of Kinova, and Universal Robots collaborative robots. It made coffee and Japanese pancakes. There was also a ping pong robot, Morpheus, from Omron. The robot is highly accurate and almost never loses. For this purpose, it predicts the trajectory of the ball before and after impact with the racket, and also determines the movement of the racket, for example, its speed and direction of return of the ball. All in all, the IREX 2022 is quite unusual. The high technology here was combined with the surprising approach of the Japanese to the robots themselves. If you liked the report, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and don't miss new episodes from the world of high technology.
What is Boston Dynamics? It's either a pioneering robotics company helping to lead in a technological revolution or a sign of the coming robot apocalypse. Over the last decade, Boston Dynamics has built some of the most impressive robots in the world that can run, jump, and even dance better than some of us humans. This is the evolution of Boston Dynamics robots. Boston Dynamics was founded in 1992. The company started off by creating realistic 3D computer simulations for aircraft launch operations for the Navy. But not long after, they started making physical robots. The first robot Boston Dynamics created was the Big Dog in 2005. The robot was designed to be able to carry heavy gear for soldiers in terrains too rough for vehicles. Instead of wheels, it had 4 legs, allowing it to move across surfaces that would defeat wheels. Big Dog was 3 feet long and stood 2.5 feet tall, making it about the size of a small mule. Despite appearing absurdly awkward in early videos posted by Boston Dynamics' YouTube channel, the robot was surprisingly proficient at keeping its legs under itself. Even when it was kicked by its tester, the Big Dog did not fall. Let's just hope the robot will not take revenge on humans for this kick. Big Dog was able to carry 340 pounds and climb at a 35-degree incline. It was constantly tested by the military to make sure it could be used in combat. In 2010, Big Dog was improved. It could run at 5 miles per hour and handle different terrains. Nonetheless, the robots still appeared very awkward, and I couldn't stop laughing at a comment on their YouTube video. Quote, after years of research and millions of dollars, engineers were able to accurately reproduce the two drunken men carrying a sofa. Throughout the years, Boston Dynamics kept testing and improving Big Dog. Multiple iterations were made, including Little Dog, which just looks like a legged Wi-Fi router. Big Dog Olay, which hopefully one day can replace the tortured bulls in Spain. The Christmas versions of Big Dog are putting reindeer out of their jobs. Plot twist, the woman is a robot too. Alpha Dog, which could carry 400 pounds of payload on 20-mile missions in rough terrain. And in 2012, the latest generation known as the Legged Squad Support System, or LS3, was developed. It was a significant upgrade compared to Big Dog and could operate in hot, cold, wet, and dirty environments. It could also run faster at 7 miles per hour and was roughly 10 times quieter. Despite improving Big Dog and investing millions at the end of 2015, the Big Dog project was discontinued. The reason was that the robot was too noisy for use in combat, which I can easily understand for the first iteration since it sounded like a swarm of bees. But even the latest generation LS3 wasn't quiet enough for military use. Fun fact, in 2013, Big Dog received an arm. It showed the world how robots could take over the world by throwing bricks at humans. In 2009, Boston Dynamics started working on a human-like robot named Petman. The robot could walk at 3.2 miles per hour. Petman has hydraulic actuators, which act as muscles. In total, Petman has 30 hydraulic actuators. In 2011, Petman received a significant upgrade and could, besides walking, also do squats and push-ups. It's already doing better than my gym attempts. Petman, which stands for Protection Ensemble Test Mannequin, was developed for the U.S. Army, who planned to use the robot to test chemical suits and additional protective gear used by troops. It had to be capable of moving just like a real soldier with walking, running, bending, reaching, and crawling. But to make it even more human-like, it also changes the skin temperature and sweats. Sandflea is another robot developed for the U.S. Army, and it has no trouble jumping over a 2-story building. The piston is powered by CO2 and can make 30 jumps in a row before running out of power. Sandflea was designed as handy surveillance in places that would otherwise be inaccessible or too dangerous for humans. The tricky part of the process was keeping Sandflea oriented as steadily as possible during the jump, since it was also intended to record video while in midair. The navigational system is so specific that soldiers can even direct the Sandflea to jump 2 stories in an open window. Fun fact, Sandflea was intended to be used in Afghanistan to hop over walls, look around, and get right back home again. Well, Afghanistan will take a pause, but maybe it'll be used somewhere else. Who else has got oil? As the name implies, Cheetah was the first attempt to create a fast-running robot. To boost Cheetah's speed, it wasn't just a matter of increasing the energy, it also includes a biologically inspired choreography of interactions between the robot's feet, legs, and back. The Cheetah can reach 28.3 miles per hour. We know Boston Dynamics had their eye on 50 miles per hour for a bit, and the top speed of a biological cheetah, around 70 miles per hour, may ultimately be within reach. We're not sure when this will be. Still, considering that Cheetah began from a top speed of 18 miles per hour and came to 28 miles per hour in less than 5 months, how long will we have to get comfortable with the possibility of being chased down and even eaten by a robotic quadruped? Fun fact, Boston Dynamics' Cheetah speed record at 28.3 miles per hour was incidentally faster than Olympic champion Usain Bolt who got the world record for the 100-meter dash with a speed of 27.8 miles per hour back in 2009. Yes, this means that now there is indeed no escape from a robot cheetah on a treadmill. You've been warned. Wildcat was a four-legged robot developed in 2011. It can run fast on all types of terrains. Wildcat even became the fastest quadruped robot on Earth, running at 20 miles per hour while maneuvering and maintaining its balance. It could even turn while running. If it's going to chase you down, at least you can hear it coming. Next came one of the most exciting robots ever created by Boston Dynamics, named Atlas. It is a humanoid robot based on the Petman robot the company had created in 2009.
Atlas is the culmination of over a decade of hydraulic humanoid robotics work at Boston Dynamics.
Originated in 2013, Atlas stood 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighed 330 pounds. The company initially made the robot for the DARPA Robotics Challenge, a competition meant to accelerate robotics technology development to aid response efforts to natural and human-made disasters. The robot has undergone significant changes since its debut. In 2016, Atlas received a new design with a height of about 5 feet tall. The new version of Atlas is designed to operate both outdoors and inside buildings. It uses sensors in its body and legs to balance, and LiDAR and stereo sensors in its head to avoid obstacles. Sadly, Atlas was heavily bullied, and cyberbullying was taken to a whole other level. In 2017, Atlas was improved even further so that it could jump, but far more impressively, it could do a backflip. With the next generation in 2018, Atlas could run outdoors. Now he could finally escape from the physical abuse in the lab. I hope he's fine. During the development process, new techniques were developed, allowing Atlas to use its whole body, complex algorithms to calculate the speed and coordination of its movement. It learned to do parkour and could do tricks with a success rate of about 80%. You thought that was impressive? In 2021, the humanoid robot could finish a whole parkour. Man, it's crazy how fast Atlas gets developed. You might ask yourself, why did they teach the robot to do parkour?
At a practical level, it's a platform for us to do R&D on, and as an Atlas team, we're encouraged to push, that platform to its limits, like do the most crazy, exciting power stuff we can do. And so we're always expanding and pushing the limits of Atlas's capabilities, and then, hopefully by extension, extending the capabilities of the company as well at the same time.
So, pushing the limits on Atlas pushed the innovation for both hardware and software that translates to all other robots at Boston Dynamics. But letting Atlas do parkour wasn't easy at all. Atlas was capable of doing tricks before, but what made this really challenging was that it had to do the entire course in one run. So Atlas had to be able to do tricks reliably. Fun fact, Boston Dynamics says it will not partner with those who wish to use robots as weapons. The original Spot, which has since become Spot Classic, became a turning point in Boston Dynamics robot evolution. It was designed for both indoor and outdoor operations, weighing in at around 160 pounds. It was faster, smaller, and more agile than the big dog models that came before it. The size reduction came from using an electronic instead of gas engine to power its hydraulic system. The company describes Spot Classic as the machine that, quote, laid the groundwork for the strong dynamic robot controls seen on Spot today. Multiple iterations were made, including Spot Mini in 2016, which is a smaller version weighing 55 pounds. The name was later changed to just Spot as it became the flagship design for the Spot model. The robot is all electric and runs for about 90 minutes on a charge. 1 year later, Spot received a new, more iconic yellow design. It is one of the quietest robots the company had ever built. Some versions also include an arm, allowing it to do more tasks, like opening doors. This is the most watched video from the Boston Dynamics YouTube channel and has over 140 million views.
아니 언제 움직이려면 이제 하세요. 언제든지 움직일 수
Except for
있어요.
Boston Dynamics, Spot was also heavily abused. Spot was also able to do more tasks autonomously, including navigating through the lab facility. It uses data from the cameras to localize itself in the map and to detect and avoid obstacles. Spot was the first robot the company released commercially. In June 2020, it became available for consumers for $74,500. Spot has already been used in hospitals, police, and fire departments, and construction sites. The robot is used for a huge variety of applications. It can autonomously collect data, capture and monitor sites, carry up to 14 kilograms of equipment, explore terrains, and it can also be used for custom tasks. Spot's arm can pick up, carry, and drag items. It has a 4K camera and an LED illuminator to inspect objects. It can also do other tasks like turn valves, flip levers, or open doors. Boston Dynamics also started working with NASA. The robot can explore new areas, including areas on other planets that are inaccessible to humans. Spot can make a 3D map of the location. It can also, sorry for my bad pun, spot things that might be interesting and take pictures of them to send to the operator. Spot arm can also take samples. Maybe one day we'll see Spot exploring Mars. Honestly, I think Boston Dynamics and SpaceX should work together. Spot robots might be able to help colonize Mars. Fun fact, Boston Dynamics has changed ownership multiple times. In 2013, the company was acquired by Alphabet Inc., which is the parent company of Google. In 2017, the company was sold to Japan's SoftBank Group. And in 2020, Hyundai Motor Group acquired an 80% stake in the company for approximately $880 million. In 2021, they also decided to buy the other 20%, paying in total $1.1 billion to acquire Boston Dynamics. To celebrate the new ownership, they launched a video with a group of Spot robots dancing. In 2017, Handle was introduced, which the company has declared as, quote, a research venture into wheeled robots. The wheeled robot stands 6.5 feet tall and can reach a top speed of 9 miles per hour. Handle is designed for logistics and can handle tasks like picking up boxes and placing them somewhere else. In 2021, 2 more commercially available robots were introduced for warehouse operations. The first is Pick and uses machine learning algorithms to depalletize fast and accurately. The second is Stretch. Stretch is a versatile mobile robot that can unload trucks and build pallets. These robots can work autonomously. Meanwhile, warehouse workers watching this are getting stressed. It is unbelievable how far Boston Dynamics has come with its robots. With the noisy and clumsy Big Dog developed in 2005, all the way to the latest iterations of Atlas and Spot in 2021 that can even dance together. I really hope you've enjoyed this incredible journey, and subscribe if you're watching this video before robots have taken over the world.
사장님 움직이려면 움직이세요.
You may have been one of the 140 million people who've seen this video on YouTube. Boston Dynamics has made a name for itself by building robots like Spot, which move in ways that many of us have only seen in sci-fi movies.
it seems, will soon be capable of doing anything. Are there any limits to where they can be deployed? What will be left for humans to do when machines can perform the tasks just as well, if not better? And what will happen if and when artificial intelligence becomes superior to our own? What we are experiencing is a revolution, silently and without resistance. A revolution that was given the name by three experts at an industrial trade fair in Hanover in 2011, Industry 4.0. Originally, it was groundbreaking, but only the retail facilities.
Historically speaking, there had already been a third industrial revolution.
Die gab es schon. The way we do it is a lot better. The term led to a political debate.
Parallel wurde das Internet der Dinge und der Dienste hochgezogen.
Henning Kagermann was CEO of SAP, the largest software company in Europe, before being appointed president of Germany's National Academy of Science and Engineering. Kagermann is considered an intellectual lobbyist. His partner, the Ministry of Education and Research, is Wolf-Dieter Lukas, who is responsible for everything connected to Industry 4.0. Artificial intelligence expert Wolfgang Balster was also involved in coining the term.
We're trying to create computers with, we like to say, ears, hands and feet, and some ability to reason. So the factory of the future is obviously part of that.
Die Fabrik der Zukunft.
You are going to be the place to serve our manufacturing. And today,
Wir wissen heute, dass gewisse Fähigkeiten
Today we can already build systems that perform certain skills based on pure cognitive intelligence, like driving a car, that work better and with greater precision than humans.
der Mensch hat ja auch im Bereich
The sensory perceptions of humans also have deficits. Take the sense of smell. We can deploy artificial noses as sensors in a food production factory, for example, that have a superior sense of smell to ours.
als der Mensch.
the robot is programmed to cook for up to 4 people, and that means that it will serve 4 identical plates. They will look exactly the same and also taste the same.
Man or machine? People still feel a little perturbed when robots get up close and personal. But the relationship between humans and machines is changing. In the future, robots will be a commonplace, integral part of our lives. That, at least, is the future envisaged by Industry 4.0.
At some point, the term Industry 4.0 was used to describe a not yet clearly defined approach. What we tried to do was put meat on the bones.
For business consultant Thomas Rinn, the term has become the brand of a promotional campaign.
What is Industry 4.0? It's the fourth industrial revolution. It means
Rinn urges his audiences to join the revolution if they don't want to belong to the losers.
winners and new losers.
For us at Roland Berger Strategy Consultants, Industry 4.0 means companies should modernize factories or build new ones. Separate the wheat from the chaff. Those who hesitate will eventually be left behind.
对每一个工厂做一个转变的规划。
What does make sense?
The consultant also asks what now needs to be done on the digitalization front. He encourages businesses to upgrade their factories for the future and to train their staff for the new tasks at hand or recruit new staff. The danger, he says, is waiting until they have no choice but to implement Industry 4.0. There's no time to waste. The term industrialization refers to technical and social change. In the early and mid-19th century, neighbouring towns across Europe joined up to form industrial hubs. The power of steam and water was harnessed to power machines that in turn manufactured consumer goods. Coal and the production of steel and iron in enormous factories were the building blocks of the first industrial revolution. Electricity raised industrial production to a new level. As the number of factories grew, so did gainful employment and the labour market. The second industrial revolution ushered in assembly lines and mass production. The introduction of computers for data processing in the 1980s saw the advent of the third industrial revolution. Now, the position of human workers as a production factor was coming under increasing scrutiny. And we are now apparently about to enter a new era, the fourth industrial revolution.
Also ich habe es sogar noch, aber kommt scheinbar die Kenntnis Nummer 2. In Asien
Industry 4.0 is gaining traction in Asia. People there are hugely interested in what's happening in Europe and whether Europe has really regained the lead in this area due to the technological upheavals taking place.
CIO. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
This delegation represents a Chinese company that could become a major customer for Weidmuller, a German manufacturer of electrical connection technology.
This client is one of the biggest manufacturers in the world, with in excess of 1 million employees in China. They have a large number of factories, not just in China. When deploying robots on that kind of scale, it's vital that you maximize and realize your potential productivities and efficiencies. And that's our job. It's a simple example. High-rise buildings have elevators which have to be serviced at regular intervals, let's say every 3 to 6 months. And whether they're used once a month or thousands of times, all elevators are subject to that monitoring interval. With Industry 4.0, those 3,000 people who offer that service might become just 100. The elevator or components in the elevator will contact a data analysis center when it needs servicing. It's a completely disruptive concept in terms of technical maintenance.
And displacing established factors is what the guests from China are interested in. Their company, Foxconn, currently has 400,000 workers assembling mobile phones in China. Except the management has announced plans to replace 3/4 of them with robots. Every year, the Swiss resort of Davos hosts the World Economic Forum. On the agenda for the first time in January 2016 was automation and the likely prospect of 5 million jobs disappearing around the globe over the next 4 years alone.
This year's World Economic Forum in Davos centers on a revolution from above, a fourth industrial revolution, or Industry 4.0. 2,500 business leaders, scientists and politicians are discussing the deployment of robots, digitalization and the networking of machines, artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things. The founder of the event, Klaus Schwab, calls it possibly the greatest challenge facing the world. Industry 4.0, an industrial revolution. The question is, who will be the winners and who will be the losers of this revolution?
This revolution is also being felt in the banking
김비호
and
과장님.
investment center of Manhattan. In accordance with Microsoft founder Bill Gates' old quote that we need banking but not banks, young companies are providing new solutions via the internet, threatening to replace established financial services providers. An internal survey conducted by the New York office of Deutsche Bank on Wall Street predicts a crisis of unprecedented proportions on the labor market. For the first time, new technical developments are set to destroy more jobs than they create. Fewer and fewer fewer workers will be needed for the same output, a change with far-reaching consequences for industry and society. The internal labour market analysis is at odds with upbeat forecasts for Industry 4.0. Is this the reason Deutsche Bank in New York declines to comment? The silhouette of a worker with tool, a work of art in Frankfurt's financial district, symbolizing the world of labour. Among the subjects being discussed in the offices towering above the figure is which jobs will no longer exist in the future. At ING DiBa, the German subsidiary of a Dutch financial group, economists Inge Borg and Carsten Buschetsky are working on that very issue. They've been looking into the consequences of digitalization for the German labour market.
I've been looking at libraries. Here we have a probability of 97%. That would mean a very large number of professions potentially disappearing. In the case of unskilled or semi-skilled jobs, such as forklift operators or postal workers, we see a probability of 89%. For jobs in inventory, 98%. So that's a lot of jobs gone.
Wir werden also sehr viele Berufe wegfallen.
Wir haben gesehen, dass ungefähr 59% aller Jobs potenziell gefährdet.
Our research shows 59% of all jobs could potentially be in danger.
Aber die erste Aussage ist die Situation.
So the first message is a huge number of jobs could be lost in the near future.
Wenn man anschaut, welche Berufsklassen sind das?
Many of them are jobs with low qualifications and unskilled work, but not all.
Sondern es geht auch darum, dass man
It could also mean technically skilled personnel also gradually losing their jobs to automation.
die dadurch auch ihren Arbeitsplatz verlieren können. Das heißt, dass insgesamt ungefähr 18 Millionen.
In total, around 18 million jobs in Germany are potentially at risk from automation and digitalization.
Wir haben immer mal wieder technische Fortschritte gehabt.
We've experienced repeated technical advances. It generally didn't cost as many jobs.
오케이.
The survey shows that
오케이,
results
됐어요.
computers to take over number crunching, replace highly qualified workers. That's a pretty bleak outlook and a warning that Industry 4.0 will not only bring benefits.
The securities brokers in the trading area of Commerzbank could likewise face the prospect of being replaced by automated processes once algorithms are able to make autonomous decisions on the buying and selling of financial products.
Viele Unternehmen sind heute zu langsam.
A lot of companies today are too slow to implement Industry 4.0.
Die großen
Big corporations are doing a relatively good job. The smaller firms are struggling, waiting for someone to come and help them. Personally, I find that approach all wrong. Companies are architects of their own fortunes, and that requires them to take action.
The management consultant is paying a visit to a company that has already undergone realignment.
In general, sooner or later, manufacturers will have no option but Industry 4.0. I assume there is still a degree of timidity at the moment. A lot of firms have yet to settle on the area they can concentrate on.
Wir haben ja schon immer den Trend, auch schon
Even prior to Industry 4.0, work that could be automated has been automated. So more and more manual production processes will become redundant. The trend is being accelerated by Industry 4.0.
It's an area we're very active in. Eventually, we will connect our products directly to the energy exchange, where electricity prices are set, so that we can plan peak and off-peak capacity times, depending on the price of electricity. provide the maximum benefit and maximum advantage.
In the future, machines would decide themselves when to increase production. For example, when the price of electricity is less expensive. Weitmuller specializes in industrial connectivity, electronic systems that coordinate the use of robots in automated production facilities.
My vision is for our production sites to be interlinked in a global network and with our customers and our suppliers. Ideally, we would have an autonomous, smart, and self-regulating system. So when a customer places an order up at the front, the machine will move itself around the entire delivery chain, and at the end, the customer gets their individualized product.
Magazzino, a new startup in Munich, developed self-control systems. The company is working on the world's first independent-minded and operating warehouse. It has received funding from corporations that are hoping to profit from advancements in the future.
Siemens is interested in robots that can solve complex tasks in hazardous environments. One example might be robots that could retrieve objects off the shelves in a warehouse. The question is whether it can reach over the book and then pick out another book. You might also want it to do the same thing with boxes. We build robots that can react like humans. The robot moves from shelf to shelf. It can see for itself what objects are there, and then it selects them. That is the robot of the future. Until now, robots in car production, for example, have performed the same weld at the same spot over and over again, quickly and with perfect precision. But if the car was suddenly the other way around, the robots will be stymied. Now, let's take teddy bears, for example. They always look a bit different. They may have fallen on their back. There's no barcode, no RFID tag. The nice thing is, when you teach robots how to pick out the correct teddy bear, they can then share that information with other robots. The robot also has to be able to work with humans in the same environment, not doing the same task at the same time, but be able to share the same room with humans. Things will continue to advance. We're doing what is currently possible, but we don't yet know what will be possible tomorrow. Look at how much we can detect with cameras. We started with books, now we're picking up teddy bears and reaching into shoeboxes. There's going to be a whole range of advances. Better efficiency, better picker arms, better computer vision algorithms, image recognition. The possibilities are endless.
The potential of digitalization for goods distribution and transportation can already be seen at the port of Hamburg.
Using the options available with data processing means that we can now automatically manage transportation processes that used to be done manually. We have introduced automation to a degree not previously seen in container handling. For example, we now have automatic
갈 준비하세요. 다
vehicles
했어요.
transporting cargo from the container crane to the warehouse. Those vehicles can shift containers up to 30 tons in weight, and they are able to operate in all conditions: snow, rain, storms, and fog. I believe that 20 years from now, we will still have containers. handling them
네.
will be more effective. Phase 2, automation.
큰일 났네.
The shipping sector
여기 봐야 되는데
more like this with
없었어가 아니라
commercial
우리
airlines
거의 우전만 같이 뜯어가지고
perform all manner of tasks themselves, such as checking in, seat assignment, and attaching the cargo label to their luggage. We'll be seeing this second stage in the transportation sector as well.
The Altenwerder Container Terminal is among the most technologically advanced in the world. In future, containers at other ports will also find their destinations on their own.
I am following Industry 4.0, or rather Labor 4.0, very closely, because we can't achieve anything without the companies and the people affected. I don't have a plan, and I don't know exactly how things will go from here. So we initiated an intensive dialogue, raising questions and support from unions. At the same time, companies also have responsibilities. So I expect it's going to be a rocky road. We need to find a way of consolidating these new forms of labor that benefit not only company profits, but also employees.
Yo.
As the first
Yo.
part of the name
Yo.
suggests,
Yo.
they
Yo.
are deployed en masse and are themselves called
아 드디어 끝이 보이는군요.
business model involves earning money by selling information and data on the internet. Data research by tens of thousands of individuals.
끝이 보이는과 동시에 또 할 게 또 있지요. 윈치 달아야 돼 윈치.
We have around 35,000 gurus, as we call them.
전선은 다 뽑아놨어요.
They take care of minor
전선을 3개나 뽑아놨어요. 연동되는 전선, LED 전선도 있어요. LED 전선. 나중에 LED 할 수 있겠죠. 야,
They can choose which jobs they want to work on.
These workers would otherwise have a hard time surviving on the
그거?
traditional labour market. Their tasks here range from gathering addresses and corporate data to writing product descriptions and price comparisons. There are several
아, 그래?
100,000 crowd workers in Germany alone. Social
어디로?
security insurance or a minimum wage do not
등록했어요?
apply.
We try to work out their hourly rate.
네,
If they were to do a certain job for one whole hour,
네.
you get a wage of 9
시켜만 주십시오,
or
마님.
more.
세팅을 잘하겠습니다, 마님. 시켜만 주십시오,
Our
마님.
biggest competition is technological evolution. There are some things we still do with the crowd, things where you still need people to make decisions. With image recognition, for example, people can categorize and tag particular pictures. Technology is our biggest competition. As it evolves, eventually there'll be an algorithm that can manage these tasks on its own.
Industry 4.0 has various names from
이거 사이즈가 안 나오는구나.
France, it's known as l'industrie du futur, industry of the future.
그렇다고 어쩔 수 없이 이걸로 가야
It poses
됩니다.
a philosophical question. Is humankind in the process of creating something that will outlive us, or something that we can live with in relative harmony?
Paul Jorion, anthropologist and economist, has been following the digitalization of industry for decades.
When I was researching artificial intelligence in the late 1980s and early 90s, there were still a lot of obstacles, factors that appeared irresolvable. Today, those limits have all but disappeared.
Ont été, ces goulots d'étranglement ont été résolus et petit à petit tous les obstacles en fait ont été levés.
They say it's going to be a very long time before we see machines replacing humans, a stage called singularity. But in fact, there are advances being made on a daily basis as we move in that direction. Machines will soon be better than us. That might not be the case in all areas today, but with things moving forward very quickly, perhaps it will be tomorrow.
West Coast has become a hive for young entrepreneurs. Many of them are originally from Europe, and they all want to change the world with computer programs.
When my friends and family asked me how I was doing after I got here, my initial response was, I feel at home. It was mainly because of the sheer number of like-minded people here, all of them with one goal: to change the world and set up successful enterprises. People come here from all over, and the spirit they all share gave rise to Compass. Compass is a software product that replaces in-house analysts. Think of the software as an automated corporate doctor, whose job it is to analyze the entire data of the company. And they compile a report on the company's standing, its strengths and weaknesses. That helps the company when it comes to making important decisions. Where to invest time and money. We are at the beginning of a major socio-economic structural change. And companies like ours are now part of that change. But it will lead to a lot of people losing their jobs or having to get retrained in order to find other work. So people who assume that because they've been to college and have a good education will have a secure job, we see those hopes dashed. So in other words, this development, this change, will bring good things, but also bad things.
One of the most successful investors involved in Silicon Valley lives in the rolling hills of California's wine country.
We tend to talk about Industrial Revolution 4.0, and the simple thing people say is, well, robots are going to replace factory jobs. And I think, for the most part, that's true.
와우.
But the biggest issue
아,
is
천천히.
going to be computers have now gotten to the point where they're so intelligent
와우.
that they will be able to do a series
Wow.
of jobs, what we call white-collar work today.
와우.
What's required is a totally
와우, 와우, 와우.
That's why I have a little bit of challenge.
자, 거기다 이제 LED.
It's really an
뭐, LED는 뭐 나중에 할 수 있으니까요. 네, 집어넣을게요.
Joe Scherndorf is on the board of the World Economic Forum in Davos. The revolution, he says, will not just render millions of jobs redundant, but also a lot of multinational corporations.
We're going to see global companies go away. If you look at the Dow in 1890, whatever, when it started, there were not 30, I think there were only 18. There's only one left, which is General Electric. All of them went away. I think that if we just look out 10 years from now, about a third of the largest companies in the world today will no longer be around. There was a famous headline that Jamie Dimon said, banking industry
다이노소울.
Silicon Valley is coming to eat your lunch. And I think you could take that and put almost any industry in there. And one that I think you should be particularly concerned about is the automotive industry. I will tell you that that's probably going to have as much disruption over the next decade as any other single industry. You can look at, people make a joke about testing today. Don't make a joke. What this team of engineers is doing is pretty important.
Here at the most modern car factory in the world, the fourth industrial revolution is in the hands of shiny, red robot arms. Some of them are called Thunderbird or Colossus, names that evoke fantasy world superheroes. Tesla was initially ignored by the big car makers and then belittled. Giants of the industry struggled on with their outdated business models, in certain high-profile cases resorting to the manipulation of emissions tests. Meanwhile, the fully automated Tesla production facilities in Silicon Valley were busy building the electric car of the future.
드디어 다 했습니다.
But in Silicon Valley,
공부 됐죠? 이거 되게 좋은데 공부가?
value creation also a paradise for people who work there.
In San Francisco, you see these gigantic Google buses pulling up at
이건
7:30
민치야.
a.m. You'll have 15 or 20 people waiting at public bus stops and being picked up by the corporate
이거
buses.
진짜 아니야?
And nobody's talking. They're already working. And later they are driven back. You see a lot of downcast faces and very few happy ones.
이거 내려야 될 것 같죠? 민지에 내립시다. 저희 마무리해요. 어떻게 해요? 네, 다 했어요. 민지는 내려면 될 것 같아요. 잘 되고 순조롭게 잘 되고 있습니다. 언제나 그렇듯이 RC는 뭐다? RC는 해피엔딩이다. 다 했어요.
Moved to San Francisco in 2003.
There's a strong tendency in the valley and in industry in general to have everything quantified and manageable. This regime of constant productivity optimization has now reached extreme levels. What you see in Silicon Valley is a kind of troubleshooting machine. The idea is that any problem, social, political, or human, can be solved if you deploy technology with maximum effectiveness. Automation and the fourth industrial revolution will make creativity, intuition, compassion, and emotion far more important. If we're competing with automated machines, artificial intelligence, robotics and so on, where performance is judged solely on efficiency and increasing productivity, then we as humans don't really stand a chance. We outperform, and as various studies have forecast, eventually become superfluous. But if we can create scope within companies for creativity, intuition and our individuality, that would mean a loss of control for the companies. So I think in addition to creating human cultures that suit us better and give us more room for expression, ultimately it would also make us more successful. Google has a full-time employee interpreting the insights, traditions and rights of the major religions for it. They think about what Google can learn from Islam, Christianity,
오,
and
팬
Judaism.
들어가고요.
So they're basically a theological authority. We're living in a phase where everything is being instrumentalized by the power of industry. It's a painful transformational process. But personally, I hope the end result will be a higher status for the humanities and for art. Nobody expects me. I choose a spot for me and my piano. At first people are bemused, but eventually some people relax and get into the swing of things. I've been all over Germany and Europe with the piano. I'm going to play a nice soft track off the CD. It's called First Sunlight.
우리 형님 이제 찾으러 오셔야 되겠습니다. 이 차는. 내일 클라톤 EX 클라톤 꼭 나갈게요, 우리님. 원래 하루 전에 나갔는데 어제 눈이 왔는데 어제 눈 왔을 때 제가 참고 정리하냐고 많이 못했거든요. 꼭 나갈 거고요. 또 AS 밀리는 것들도 좀 있는데 AS 빨리 해야 되겠죠. 김찬이님 안녕하세요. 배송 받았어요, 김찬이님? 오, 예. 잘 받으셨어요? 지금 물건 마음에 드세요? 됐어. 와, 차봐. DGG 빼보세요. 야, 이제 굴려보지 않아도 세팅만 해도 이렇게 돼요. 미치죠, 미쳐요 거의. 꿈에서 꿈에보던 다이노소울. 와우. 야, 천천히 보세요. 기가 막히죠? GT5.
This year was truly the first year we were on the road more than we were here. The current
Oh, yeah.
generation value their freedom very highly and no longer pursue status-related things like a
다
job
봤네. 오 마이 갓.
permanent residence. What matters are the flexibility and self-fulfillment that have only become possible.
자, 쇼 세팅.
Now you can earn money bringing
쇼
your
세팅
own
다
ideas to
됐나요?
the street without
어디 쇼
significant
세팅?
fixed costs. That will become
좋고.
common for companies because the good people will have chosen alternative options.
We have a distributor, then it's time for the product sample. I earn my money selling on Amazon. Kitchen utensils, pet products. So, washing dishes, kitchen tongs, spatulas and the like.
와, 바라스 죽인다. 바라스 DGG.
Instead of going to the office Monday to Friday, I can just open up my notebook when I choose to.
와우.
Here's work.
와우.
At the same time,
와우, 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 와우. 자, 락크라울닝도 되는데 저희 중요하게 보죠, 그죠? 그 잘 먹는지 한번 1, 2단 다 먹는 거 볼게요.
he told us how important it was to get good grades and have a linear career development. We were to be consistent in our decisions. No gaps in our resume. All with the goal of becoming employable. For some reason I decided back then that wasn't for me.
It started that we're family. We escaped our office, packed up our business, and hopped into a Land Rover with our friend Vin. Our mission: travel through South America and meet people who use technology to redefine work.
It started as a crazy idea, leaving our office behind, running a business from the road, and meeting people who were just as crazy as us. Suddenly became a reality. For the next 6 months, we're going to cross South America and allow to see
모이면은 다 풀리는 거고, 걸리면은 다 이렇게 되네. 되는 거. 그렇지. 좋았어. 이거 리버스도 할 수 있거든요. 리버스도 할 수 있지만 그냥.
We help other companies to improve their customer service.
한쪽을 모으고.
Traveling 20,000 kilometers across South America with my co-worker and another friend. We managed our entire firm from gas stations, hostels and cafes.
I'm doing this data migration for online casino in Las Vegas.
또 LED.
And it's just
또 LED. 좋아요. 자, 이거 다 했습니다. 이제 오시면 되겠습니다. 내일 윈치만 할게요. 윈치만. 오케이, 아셨습니다. 자, 브랑코입니다. 자, 어우, 차가 띠용. 야, 기가 막히죠. 가격을 딱 비켜보시면, 조종에는 GT5가 있는데요. 여기 보시면 서버가 되어 있잖아요. 다 먹습니다. 자, 자, 보시면 땡기기 당연히 되고. 그쵸? 천천히 뒤로 하면 뒤로 살짝. 와, 바로. 되게 예민하죠? 그러면 더 천천히 되고요. 그 다음에 여기가 3채널입니다. 3채널. 깎아. 이쪽이죠. 그 다음에 락을 잠그고 풀고 돼 있어요. 여기 보시면 뒤집을게요. 자, 차를 뒤집어 보시면은 이렇게 락이 해제돼 있죠. 락 해제돼 있고 해제돼 있죠. 얘를 자 잠그고 얘를 잠그면은 락이 잠겼죠. 자, 락을 잠근 상태에서는 산에 올라갈게요. 그 다음에 락을 해제. 자, 좀 모으면은 해제. 풀려있죠. 그쵸? 풀려있죠. 그 다음에 다시 벌리면 풀려있어요. 이렇게 락을 잠글 수도 있고 풀 수도 있습니다. 자, 이 서버가 여기 있으니까요. 그리고 모터 변속기. 자, 완전히 좋은 거. 기본적인 것보다 훨씬 더 좋죠. 가볍고요. 여기 보시면은 이거 서버 보세요. 서버가 움직이고. 이거는 살짝 이거 안 닿게끔 여기다 내려야 되겠네요. 그쵸. 여기다 내리면 되겠습니다. 내리면은 이게끔. 그쵸. 이 락을 다 먹고 그다음에 풀고 할 수 있어요. 후진해볼까요? 자, 후진 살짝. 자, 지금 뭘 하려고 하냐면요. 자, 보시면은 여기 살짝 올라가 볼게요. 바디 씌우고 할까요? 바디 벗기고 해도 괜찮죠? 뒤에는 집어야 알게 계세요? 천천히. 와, 천천히. 여기 살짝. 야, 이거 여러분들 이걸 TRX4 일반 변속기에서 이거 안 되는 거 아시죠? 살짝. 일반 변속기에서 이거 안 되는 거 아시죠? 야. 와, 이 지성이 지금 무겁거든요, 여러분들. 이 보시면 여기다 옵션도 바르고 그래가지고 꽤 무거워요. 지금 가벼운 게 아니라 진짜 무겁게 해놨어요, 지금요. 무겁게 했는데, 야, 이게 됩니다. 이 변속기가 뭔지 아시죠, 여러분들? 바로 슈퍼스 변속기, 요거 정말 좋지 않습니까, 이거? 이거 80A라고 했잖아요. 알씨라이프 지금 바로 80A 한번 검색 한번 해보세요. 기가 막힙니다. 와, 진짜 변속기 기가 막힙니다. 기본 잭은 달라요. 그래서 잭을 약간 오므려뜨렸는데 나중에 납땜할 수도 있고 오므려뜨릴 수도 있고 요거. 그래서 바디 한번 씌워볼게요. 야, 정말 끝내주네요. 궁합이 잘 맞죠, 궁합이. 궁합이라는 게 있죠, 궁합. 착한? 예. 궁합이라는 게. 착한? 그쵸. 이게 살짝 뜯으면은 완전 깨끗하지만 또 있어요, 이게. 뜯으면은 완전 깨끗하지만은 야, 이거 어쩔 뿅. 어쩔 TP. 자, 여기 놔두고 살짝 살짝만 해볼게요, 진짜로. 야, 보세요, 여러분 차보세요. 기가 막히죠, 여러분들. 여기서 살짝 이렇게 살짝 보세요. 진짜 살짝이에요. 봤어요, 여러분들? 봤어요? 뭐 움직이는 거 아니죠? 이게 뭐라고요, 여러분들? 그렇죠. 슈패스 80A 그냥 끝내주는 변속기입니다. 사실 차 선전인데 차가 주인공인데 갑자기 이게 왜 나왔죠? 그리고 GT5 나중에 세팅 보고 채널 이용해서 반짝반짝 LED 넣을 수 있습니다. 그리고 숍도 작업했고요. 아우, 좋아요. 구독과 좋아요. 자, 알람 설정까지. 감사합니다. 자, 지금 바로 브롱코도 좋지만 80A 지금 바로 검색하세요. 오케이. 짜잔. 브롱코. 갑시다. 야, 이 변속기 진짜 기가 막히다. 이거 한 이유가 있었네. 아, 진짜 기가 막힙니다. 기가 막혀. 여러분 진짜로 와, 진짜 기가 막혀요. 살짝. 야, 이거는 뭐 어떻게 말을 설명할 수가 없다. 네, 여기까지 하겠습니다. 감사합니다. 마무리 갑시다. 집에 갑시다. 집에 가서 옷 다 싹 가보고 잠깐 샤워만 할게요. 자, 여기까지 했습니다. 감사합니다. 여기까지 했습니다. 역시 알씨라이프 아주 멋진